Hello, this is Mithy. Hi, sorry I haven't posted in a while. I am working on the Young Justice video, don't worry. In case you haven't heard, I co-host a podcast with Troyo Boyo 17 called the Fanboy Talk Podcast. This is a small little highlight clip where we talk about some Marvel CGI stuff that's been going around. If you enjoy it, please check out the whole podcast. We post about once a week and it's a lot of fun, so hope to see you there. And yeah, that's it. I don't know how to end these things. Enjoy the clip.
Speaking of visual effects, I saw a clip from a Collider.
I saw the same clip.
The quarter thing.
Yeah.
About Shang-Chi and Endgame.
Oh boy. Yeah.
This whole set was entirely digital. They started to film on what we call like a fragmented set. So they had just a little partial piece of the bottom of the gate and all the ground, but the ground kind of looked rubbery.
Yeah, the wording he said was, screw it, we'll CGI, basically.
They just said, yeah, screw it, let's, this isn't gonna work. And they just started blue screening off all the set that they had already made.
Rotoscope, yeah. They had to rotoscope out the characters for everything. Same shit happened on Endgame.
After the whole compound had been cratered, it was all shot in like this sort of like burnt out foresty type thing, and then it was all replaced.
So now we have to rotoscope out every single character and put them in a different environment. And I'm like, okay, that man and Kevin Feige are gonna have some words eventually, but like he's still saying the truth.
But it's
right?
like it's shit we've known. This is shit we've known about.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's just the first time that I think like somebody on the production has ever said anything about it.
Yeah, and I mean he said at the end, like at the end of the day, we're here to service a story, and if that's what service the story, we'll do it. That's fine.
Yeah, but also he said he has a rotoscope more times than he can count.
Yeah, which
that's rotoscoping. I don't know if you know this. Not fucking fun.
No.
Rotoscoping is incredibly difficult
because you're just cropping out the person for every
you have to mask out, and like I've had to I tried to rotoscope out something on the last video, and like it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know, like you saw me try and do it. It was terrible.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And like obviously I'm not a trained VFX supervisor or anything. I'm sure there's like automated systems that can help.
Yeah.
You know.
You probably run it through some kind of like smart
there are websites that will, you know, and I'm sure there's
and
like
they're building NLP tools to help with that, but you still need someone there to go through.
And that almost like encourages the filmmakers to not shoot on a set then.
Yeah.
To just shoot on a fucking blue screen forever now.
And it doesn't matter.
And then it does, and it's just and they do it. It's like the thing about this. We talked about this last week, but the discourse is always repetitive because we figured it out why they do it. It's because CGI work is not union, and they can just absolutely abuse the people in that system and stuff.
It's something I remember. I brought it up on the episode about Star Wars shit, the Luke Skywalker shit. Mm-hmm. When you're directing with like an actual actor, you're communicating with that actor what you want them to do. They're communicating back to you. It's kind of the same with production design. When you are sitting in a different location, you are communicating with people on production design, or you're communicating with your cinematographer who helps you pick spots. For me, I don't have a production design team, so I can't do that shit. But I talk with my cinematographer a lot about, okay, this is where we're going to shoot because I want this look, and this street works for this, and these lights look right for this. And if you just do a blue screen, for some sequences you get away with it because it's an action scene and you got to do shit that's crazy. But when you're masking out the entire thing, what are you telling your actors to do when you film? And I heard Henry Cavill talk about it, where he was like, there was an early like Gladiator movie or something he did where he had to do a lot of work on blue screen.
Was it Immortals? Screen. Probably Immortals.
I think it was Immortals. And he was like, this was kind of hard the first time, but now I got used to it and I was able to do it for future movies. But like, imagine you're that first time actor on a Marvel project, you know, doing blue screen stuff for the first time. I feel like that would affect your performance to a degree.
Yeah.
In a way that
100%.
even, at least on Avengers Endgame, yes, it was green screen and blue screen, but they at least built something there. The fact that now with Shang-Chi, they're like, no, fuck it, just blue screen and then some rocks on the ground, that scares me. Because then what does that mean for when they do another like thing later on? Is it just going to be always that I don't like that at all.
Yeah. And the thing that like there's a couple things about it. Firstly, like the thing that there will be people who are like, oh, you don't notice it, so it doesn't matter, right? Like firstly there's the production aspect of like people being overworked and crunch and like non-union, not paid enough, forced to work over hours and shit. Very bad thing. Fucked up. And then there's also like an artistic level, like I believe that if you don't plan things out, if you don't have like the reason I love the Batman so much is because every single aspect of it, and you can tell this from the interviews, you can tell this from everything Matt Reeves has said, every single fucking aspect is intentional for the character and for the story and the themes, right? Every single aspect, from the cinematography to the sets to every fucking thing. And so, and because he was able to plan, he planned all those things out and like had such a strong connection and such a strong decision making, you know, that's why it all comes together so well. And that's like the whole point of being a director. That's what being a director is you plan that shit.
Yep.
And so then when you eliminate that, and when you just are just like, all right, fuck it, we'll just change it midway through, we'll change it 2 weeks before release because we don't like it, you know. That just shows like a lack of planning and shows that these movies are 100% rushed out.
And I feel like that's not even
like,
necessarily...
that's how a YouTube video is made. A YouTube video, you're like, I don't really know how I feel about this cut, so I'm just gonna change that.
Yeah,
you know? Because it's a YouTube video. It's not a fucking $200 million movie.
Yep.
You know.
And I wonder, is it? I don't blame necessarily the director as much for that.
I don't blame directors. I blame time, and I blame studios. It's a bigger thing. It's bigger than John Watts, or it's bigger than the person who directed Shang-Chi, whose name I don't remember.
Creighton, I think.
Yeah. It's bigger than all that, and like, because it's like you can see, like Chloe Zhao is a good example. Like Chloe Zhao is a very talented director, and Eternals doesn't look as good as Eternals looks way better than other things because of that.
Yep.
But it doesn't look as good as it probably could if she had been given more time with it and hadn't really kind of been forced to do CGI with it as much.
Or force the story into a corner
people
where
will like to
needs
cherry
be
pick too. People will like to cherry pick and be like, well, this scene looks good, so the whole movie looks good. You know, and the same goes for the other way around.
Yeah, which is why we post 4K shots on Twitter. It's a shot. That's a singular. If it's less than perfect, it's less than perfect. If it's perfect, it's perfect. But it's just a singular shot, and I'm fucking tired of that. We have the amount of bootlickers that I see being like, this doesn't matter, stop talking about it, is insane to me. It would be like if in the games industry people were overworked on Red Dead Redemption 2 to make the horseball physics be so good to the point where they couldn't see their families on Christmas, and people were like, oh, it doesn't matter, shut up. You know, because we have been so critical of the games industry for crunch, more studios like Insomniac have been a lot better about crunch. I know Nintendo is like really good with crunch. There's like, it's a lot better for them and stuff. And it's just movies need to get more delayed more often, I think. You know? And they can't be fixed after the fact. Stop treating movies like fucking video games, is my point. And they are. And I feel like they're going to keep doing that because of the money.
But the thing is, that's insane. The thing that's even more insane, with the blue screen shit, there is a simple fix, and there's also the thing of like, oh, did you want to see an actual dragon fight? No, that's not what we fucking wanted. We want to see people on dirt.
I remember I said that about No Way Home before the movie came out, and people were like, oh, they should just get the sand guy back. And they should just get
CGI. Obviously, there are certain things that aren't real.
Yeah.
But
when you don't have someone,
what is a warehouse not real? Is a bridge not real?
Yeah.
We can't be there.
Is a bunch of rocks not fucking real?
A street? Yeah. Like it's these little things that like are just insane to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes back to the Flash thing that we were talking, the Flash Thompson Spider-Man shit we talked about last week. That was all over Twitter. Of like, why did that scene have to be CGI? And I know it was for
pandemic scheduling, perhaps.
Pandemic scheduling stuff, but they've been doing that. They've been doing that since No Way Home.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, since Far From Home. Fuck these titles, man. Like it's an insane way to produce art. And it's an even more insane thing to do to defend the production style of that art, I think.
And yes, you could say it's necessarily servicing the story, but
the story is better. But the Batman is a good example. The story is better serviced when it's planned out.
Real. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's real. So. And again, not everything has to be. And so the solution to that is stagecraft.
Yeah.
Is the thing on Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That tech is fucking
perfect.
Flawless.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. Why did I get a pop-up about my fucking thing? I got a weird pop-up about Drop Zone. Sorry if we have to use
screen drops?
recording.
Are you trying to buy drops?
Yeah, that's me. I'm the big guy with the drop.
Yeah.
Like stagecraft is incredible. It's an incredible piece of tech that like is going to change the landscape. and Disney has it.
And thank Greg
Why
Fraser
aren't they
and
fucking
team for it.
using? Yeah, thank Greg Fraser. Thank ILM.
Yeah.
ILM is
That's the one
gods
reason I think
for that.
Dune is gonna win for
Yeah,
something. Is
and
'cause
honestly,
he-
I ironically thank Epic Games for Unreal Engine 5 for that, because they're
Yeah.
using Unreal Engine 5, and it's
Yeah.
actually really impressive
Really? I
from a
didn't know
technical
that.
standpoint, and
Yeah.
like, because that is like. That's something you have to plan out in advance. The actors get to see you have to plan it out in advance. The actors get to see something for real.
Yeah.
It's shot in camera. VFX workers aren't overworked because all it is just making a landscape. You know, there's no like tracking, no rotoscoping, no visual effects. It's just making it 3D art. You know, it's better in literally every sense of the word. Every sense of this issue, it fixes, and Disney has it. And it worked so well for Mandalorian, it worked so well for Star Wars, it worked so well for so many things, and then they're like, let's not use it for Marvel.
Do you know what's
And
another?
I don't get it.
Do you know what's another reason I think that's also the case? And this is just a hunch. I don't go read into fully what I'm saying, but I listened to, I guess it's not cinematography specifically, but I listened to Giacchino and Matt Reeves and a bunch of people on the Dolby like podcast thing they did after the movie came out.
Ooh,
They
I
were
don't know about that.
talking-
I need to
It's
know.
really good. I'll send links. They did one
send
with
that.
him and they did one with Giacchino. So it's like 3 hours of podcast, just them talking about the movie. It's really nice.
I want them to release a commentary like so
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
Like I wanted them to do what Ryan Johnson did for Knives Out, where you can just go to the movie with
Yeah,
a fucking iPod and
yeah.
like listen to it.
Because they did funny commentary. Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson did funny commentaries for Twilight. I remember.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I
imagine that
hope
was
there's
Robin's
like a million commentary tracks
Yeah.
on the Blu-ray. I need to hear them because like Scott Pilgrim has like 20,
Really?
and I listen to every single one and I love them.
That's kinda
They're my
nice,
favorite thing.
yeah.
Commentaries are the best.
But so on this podcast that they were talking with, I think Giacchino was on it once, but then also a few other people in sound effects. There is a sound effects supervisor. There is a sound design person. There is a sound mixer, and there is Giacchino. There is a bunch of people on that team, right? They all work together the entire step of the way. For every single thing they were doing, like when they were doing the sound for the Batmobile, it was like, okay, this bottle rocket noise is kind of nice, so we're gonna do that for the Batmobile's like whining sound. Then there's another noise here that I pulled from this side. We're gonna do this and kind of low pass that and use that for the humming sound. And we're gonna use this for something different. We're gonna use for this for something different. And there was like one festival that they went to. I think sometime not festival, like a convention thing they went to in the middle of the pandemic, where they like went and sourced more audio. Not like a meetup weird conservative festival. Like
No.
like
I mean just
like a
festival and pandemic in general
Yeah, I
gives me
know,
weird vibes.
but it was
you know.
like a recording session. I think they called it like but it was like a recording session
Alright.
where they were recording through a bunch of other music. Everyone was there for that event, you know. And when they were working on during the pandemic, they were working on trailer music, and they started more stuff then. And that showed me it was like a group of like it was a team, but we're all communicating with each other every step of the way. And when I hear Greg Fraser talk about The Mandalorian, there was a lot of that too, where he was working with Dave Filoni, who was working with Jon Favreau, who was working with Deborah Chow, and they were all working together with their own teams. The vibe I get from the Marvel movies is that the team that does the VFX stuff, and the team that does production design, and the team that does costuming, there's no communication. And that freaks me out, because I'm like, then how the fuck as a director are you supposed to direct any of these people?
Yeah.
Because it's like being if you're on a management team and you have to like take all of your subordinates, for lack of a better term, and get them all to work with each other, and they just won't communicate with each other, then what the fuck is the point of your job? You're obviously going to get overstressed, and you're obviously not going to know what the fuck to do. And so I feel like with every Marvel movie, it's just a lot of that, where they're like, this is how we've done it, and like we don't really need to talk to each other. They'll just send us the shit and we'll do something else. And that is a big worry, and the more they do that, the worse it becomes.
And you can see we are seeing the cracks in that. And the thing that's frustrating is like they're not getting hit with their wallet for that, you know?
No,
No Way Home made $10 trillion.
Yep.
Which like, and the thing that's insane to me about No Way Home is like half of No Way Home is very well shot. Half of No Way Home looks really impressive.
Yeah.
You know? Like, but it's the other half that is like
the
gray
scenes that
Marvel,
are in practical, the scenes in the coffee shop,
Yeah.
the scenes, some of the scenes even in like Doctor Strange little thing.
Yeah.
Like those
the
are
scenes
well
that
shot.
aren't the scenes that aren't the obvious reshoots.
Yeah.
In those environments really impressive, very
Exactly.
very pretty.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's like genuine attempts at camera work. It's kind of the bare minimum, like a lot of that movie is.
True.
But like it's good. The
Yeah.
bare minimum is good. We finally, like, it's one of those things where it's like, Jesus Christ, after like 10 years
Yeah.
of not that, we're
When
back
Doctor
up there.
Strange is in the basement, and on one side it's the orange light, and then it's the blue light. The orange
Yeah, the orange represents his
light,
warmth,
the blue,
yeah.
what the fuck am I talking about saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
but
love basic fundamentals of cinematography.
exactly. Taylor love you,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it didn't hurt their wallet, so they're going to keep doing it. And the fact that I just feel bad for directors who come onto these projects and the teams that work under those directors. I feel bad for like PAs on all these projects too,
Yeah.
because it's like
It's
They've
not
probably
it's
gotta
like
keep
the
running around
issues
for all
are
this shit.
never on the artists.
Yeah.
It is a production thing.
Yeah.
It's the higher ups that just say make content, you
Yeah.
know, and they're turning art into content.
because I assume the Shang-Chi team, while they were doing that, were also working on something else too at the same
Yeah.
time, because they need to do 4 different projects.
Yeah, it's
and they
it's-
all
I
need to
think
come out. So it's
It's
obviously
what
they're
happened
gonna-
with Endgame with the suits with the remember the CGI time travel costumes?
I forget that happened.
Like they didn't come up with a suit design
No.
before filming,
they just put the dots on them. They just put
and
the
so
little
they decided
dots
to
on
just CG it all. And I feel like with Spider-Man and Civil War, it kind of made sense, right? Because he was a really late addition, and so like, and that scene he doesn't look that great in
them. He's
that
not
movie because
in
of that.
a lot of the scenes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like there is a practical costume, but it's way different.
because he's on the
way
end of
better,
the team, right?
Way better for a lot of this. A better symbol at the very least. It is because they didn't plan it. They didn't plan the end game. Like, I'll bet you it was a matter of like, fuck, we got to film on Tuesday, but I can't meet with the costume design team until Wednesday. So like, all right, we just got to CG it now.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things because we have to have the whole thing shot by Thursday or something.
Because the costume design
You
team's
know?
working on another thing at the same time.
Yeah,
And it's
or,
like-
yeah. It's like it's so rushed
Yeah.
that you're forced to make compromises and take shortcuts, and those shortcuts are at the detriment of CGI.
And that's kind of
and
the
visual
thing
effects workers.
that didn't happen with the Batman is not to give the pandemic credit, but when the pandemic shut down, they were all just like, okay, all right, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to schedule it out for everyone in a way that feels like it's a little bit more cohesive. I
Delayed
think.
movie. It's like games. Ironically,
Yeah.
a delayed game is like an unfinished game. A rushed game is always bad.
Yeah.
A delayed game is only sometimes bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Cough, cough, cyberpunk.
I don't remember what the fucking actual quote is.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something
Yeah,
along.
some-
I don't remember.
Who said that?
I think Miyamoto said that. I don't remember.
Okay, yeah.
I actually think he didn't say that. I remember seeing a headline being like, "We were wrong," showing that quote and him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know.
Because they were like,
Anyway,
"Don't
I need to play
blame
Elden
Billy-"
Ring. I really
Yeah.
want to play Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell that.
Yeah.
I need to talk to Cole about it. I need to
You're
not
gonna
talk to
steal
Cole
his.
about it.
You're gonna steal his
I need to
second
make
wife
sure
from
he
him?
doesn't convince me to spend $60 on a game I may not like. I can't let him do that to
You're
me.
gonna steal his second wife from him.
I really am.
Yeah.
I'll finish Bloodborne first and then I'll talk.
Yeah.
But like it's not a thing of CGI equals bad.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
what
a
everyone
lot of
boils it
people-
down to. And
Yeah,
it's
they
'cause
wanna boil it
we
down
only
to that
have
'cause it's
260 characters. on
Yeah.
Twitter. Yeah.
It's not though. It's overworking people is bad and
It's
unnecessary.
team.
It's unnecessary CGI is
Yeah.
bad. With the Green Goblin, we have that suit.
Yeah.
He has worn that suit before. They made it look great in 2002.
So
and
then what
instead they're
happens-
like, we don't have time to get it for him again. We got it just CGI it again.
Yeah,
You know?
yep.
And whoever's making that decision, it's probably not John Watts. It's
Mm.
not Kevin Feige. It's someone else. It's not even anybody in
It's
specific.
not-
It's a systematic
it's
issue. It's
because
the court of
there's a-
fucking owls.
You know what's the best? It's not the same, but it's the best depiction of anything like that is Frozen 2. The best
Yeah.
depiction of what the
Yeah.
fuck happens when it's not really anyone's fault other than
Yep.
random dates is Frozen 2. They had
Frozen
so-
2 was weird.
is-
the cut shit is insane. That
the-
movie, like,
It's different. It's
the
just straight
ending,
up different.
They set up a theme
Yeah.
and then they drop it.
Yeah.
They completely forget about it because they were like, oh, we want to keep toy sales though at the last second.
Yep. Yeah.
They were gonna destroy the city. Did you know about that?
Yeah, they were going to destroy the city. She was
And have
gonna
like growth
actually
and
die.
about change and like understanding and shit
The
like that.
voice-
Like an actual message.
The fact that the voice was never like a thing. They didn't know who the voice
Yeah.
was during such a long portion of them developing that movie. And then they were
Crazy
just
to
like,
me.
okay, fuck, it's her mom. I don't
That's
care.
the main thing.
Yeah.
That is the movie. That's the whole plot.
Yeah. And it's
ridiculous
because
to me.
and it's like the first video I ever did was on Frozen 2 for some
yeah.
fucking reason.
Wasn't a superhero movie.
But there's
Dude, good job. Proud of you.
I know, right?
Good job.
And it's a negative video.
Now where are you? Fucking
Yeah.
MCU show.
I know.
I'm surprised you're not saying that it's okay for the CGI to be bad.
I love it so much. Spider-Man No Way Home is my favorite movie. But now it's like there's so much shit with Frozen 2 that everyone just swept under the rug.
I need a
because
documentary about that fucking movie. I need to know
There
what
is.
happened.
There is a documentary.
really?
I think
Oh,
so.
shit.
Yeah, I don't know how long it is, but I think there is a documentary because
That's insane to me.
I
I
didn't
need
watch
to
all of
that.
it, but I watched the Shapefullest video on it. But it's like, but that the problem is that conversation is not going to come up anymore because Frozen 2 is the #1 grossing Walt Disney movie of all time. So that they're not going to care. And I think if you look at things that have caused Disney specifically to be like that, it's the Avengers movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's The Good Dinosaur failing because it got delayed.
Yep.
It's Frozen 2, and now it's No Way Home.
Now it's No Way Home. Yep. I totally agree.
It's just a set of milestone after milestone after milestone.
It's what happens when you make a decision that got at the expense of artistic integrity, and you don't like the people don't notice it.
Yeah.
You know, if I were to make a video where I'm trying to think, where I decided to shoot in 480p, right? I filmed myself in the 480p video, and it gets 10 trillion views, right? It gets 100k views.
You're gonna make all of your fucking videos.
I almost said 10,000. I was like, wait, that's not as much as that's actually not a good video for me. Fuck.
If it went 10,000 for me, I might say something.
I know. But if it gets, let's say it gets like 200k views, it's one of my best videos ever.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna film in 1080 again. Because like fuck, that file size is way too big and it's too much effort, and I get to film longer in 40p. It's like it's these small things, you know.
Yeah.
But if someone says, "Oh, I didn't want to watch this because it was 480p," that's because I filmed it in 4. You know, it's like consequences for your actions.
Yeah. You know.
When will you learn?
We talk about like stuff that's meant to be like evergreen, right? The Dark
These movies
Knight,
will not be evergreen.
Yeah, none of these movies are evergreen.
And you can tell because who is watching like early
who
phase
has
3
watched
Marvel?
Eternals? Tell me who has watched Eternals.
You
since it
okay?
came
No,
out.
fuck you. You bring up Eternals every time you play Fortnite.
I
now.
do.
Go fuck yourself.
But that's because it's funny.
Is it though?
Is
it though?
She learns like we get to run like
We
Makari.
run like
from
Makari in Eternals.
We
That's,
run like- we can
that's
jump
the
like
only
Makari.
reason I know that character's name. It's because of you.
I know.
It's because of you. It's because of that
I
shit.
know. I'm so proud of myself.